Hey everyone, welcome back. My name's dustinkreis, and today we are going to do the pickups video for March and half of April. Picked up some good stuff here, a couple surprises, although maybe not big surprises if you've been paying attention to the channel. But I got enough here to do a pickup video and figured, hey, let's do it. So let's go ahead and start with the Vigia games because that's why a lot of you guys are here. Picked up 5 things, and all of these I'm pretty excited about, except for one, which I've already done a game discussion on, but we'll talk about that as soon as we get there. The first thing, I picked up Etrian Mystery Dungeon, and it's still sealed because I think I'm going to play Persona Q before I throw this in. But I had to get that day one Atlas edition with the CD, you know, I've talked about not getting big collector's editions anymore, but the day one editions I still like to get, and you know, these Atlas games with the little CD soundtracks, they always tend to disappear rather quickly, so I figured I better pick this one up beforehand. But you know, this is a bit of a different style of game. I really like the Etrian Odyssey games, but the Mystery Dungeon series, I have one of them. I can't remember, is it Sharon on the DS? Yeah, Mystery Dungeon on the DS, but I've never thrown it in, and I don't know how much I'm going to like roguelikes, to be honest with you, but this one was interesting enough to pick up, so I'll get to it eventually, but I do plan on finishing or starting Persona Q before I get to this one. Then I picked up this one, and pretty much kind of a disappointment, but again, I should have, I don't know, I guess I should have went in with a different mindset, and maybe sometime down the road, when I get back to it, I'll like it more, but that's Final Fantasy Type 0 HD. I'm glad I picked this up because of the, it reinstilled my hope for Final Fantasy 15. I really enjoyed the demo in this, but this game, it should have been on the Vita, or even better, I should have just played the PSP version that I have, the translated version I have downloaded. I don't know, this just seems like a big mishmash of different ideas that just never really gel together, and the storyline is just... So, I don't know, eventually I'll get back to it and maybe enjoy it more, but right now, not really digging this one, although I guess it sold a ton of copies, so Square Enix is just laughing all the way to the bank. But for me, it kind of just continues that downward slide of Final Fantasy that I'm hoping 15 will bring us out of. Then I picked this up because it was 30 bucks on Amazon, and I'm really looking forward to get into this one because I've just listened to everyone talk about this game and how great it is, and that's Diablo 3 Ultimate Evil Edition Reaper of Souls. I do plan on playing this after I get done with Dark Souls, so we'll get into that then, but Steven and Alex are kind of waiting on me because they want to remake normal difficulty level characters and play it, so I think we're going to stream most of the playthroughs. I can't, I don't know if that's really going to be a thing or not, but be on the lookout for that. We'll try to throw it up on one of the YouTube channels, I don't know. And then picked up a couple of surprises, although not really surprises if you've been paying attention. I've basically gone full hypocrite. About a year ago, exactly almost a year ago, I made a very damning video on this series. And then through conversations with friends and sticking it out, I've actually found myself enjoying this series. Or this group of games. They're not really a series per se, but this group of games from this developer. And been eating a lot of crow. Now, I still think that there are issues with the series. I don't think they're particularly welcoming to new gamers, and blah, 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 blah. But I'm finding myself enjoying them more and more. So I picked up both Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin, and Bloodborne. And people have been talking about Bloodborne, you know, being like, just simply put, one of the best games ever made. And even my friend Ernie, who is not a big fan of the Souls series, is absolutely in love with Bloodborne. So I'm really looking forward to getting into Bloodborne. If you remember correctly, Dark Souls 2 is the one that made me just like lose my mind. And this is apparently a much more extreme version of Dark Souls 2. So I probably made a mistake picking up this one and not just picking up straight Dark Souls 2. But I want more reasons to play my PS4. And, you know, this has been a very good couple of months here for the PS4. I really start to feel like the games are starting to come out for the system. So really looking forward to getting back into these two. But after I finish Dark Souls 1, I'm probably going to take a break for a while. Even though I know Bloodborne's going to be calling my name. So there's me reneging on everything I used, because I used to be like, nah, Bloodborne I don't care about, but then I don't know, somehow I started to enjoy the series. But that is all for the games. A lot of PS4 stuff. Really excited that my purchase of this system it's starting to pay off with some good games coming out. So next we move on to the movies, and picked up a few things on the cheap. Picked up one thing just for kind of the hell of it, because my girlfriend and I really wanted to rewatch the movie, and it was kind of a disappointment on several fronts. And that we picked up the Austin Powers 3-film collection. And I really wanted to watch the first movie again. The second one is pretty funny as well, and then Goldmember, I didn't really care for Goldmember, to be honest with you. I thought it just went, you know, it just went too far off the spectrum. But I'm disappointed with this on two fronts. One, sometimes things are best left in your memory, and Austin Powers is not as funny as I remembered it. It was a much funnier film in my head than what, you know, actually watched. And then the next thing is, even though this says all of these movies are in widescreen, the first movie is actually a full-frame DVD. And this is 2015. I don't know exactly when this version, 2011 was when this packaging was put out. Even then, no one should have to suffer through a 4:3 film. It just looks abysmal. The cropping and the blowing up of the frame and everything, and it's just, the film looks like garbage. And part of the problem is I did buy it on DVD because it's Austin Powers, who cares? But I really wanted the widescreen version, and it's so weird to watch a full-frame movie on a widescreen TV. It's just, I'm very upset about that. And but then again, you know, it was only like $10 for all three films. And it's Austin Powers, who cares? And we're not talking about, you know, some of these other movies that I have. Well, I guess two of the movies here that I have that are really, I'm really excited about on Blu-ray. The next thing, I found this for, I don't remember what the price. I think it was like $15. Season 6 of Mad Men. We're here in the final season, and even though this is on all the streaming services, I want to have it on a physical medium, so if it ever goes away, I still have Mad Men. This is one of the best shows out there, one of the best written shows out there, and I can't wait to see. It's a bittersweet moment because the second of the final 7 episodes is on tonight, and I'm excited to see the series end and see how it ends, but at the same time, it's like I really feel like television is losing something amazing with Mad Men. So, got that. And then in the film department here, let's go from sort of, we'll just go backwards. I picked up this because it was like $2 at FYE, and I really enjoy this band. They're one of the bands I, you know, kind of grew up with and really enjoyed, and that is Placebo. And this is the We Come in Pieces live concert from, I think they're playing in Brixton, and it's 2008. Is when they, was it at Brixton? I can't remember where. Yeah, well, the Battle for Brixton is what it's called. But anyway, 2008 live concert from these guys. I really enjoy this band. They're kind of a nostalgic kick for me. But for $2, $2 or $3, I figured, yeah, why not get the Blu-ray of the live concert. Picked this up because it was on sale for $5, I believe. And this is one I've been wanting to get on Blu-ray for quite some time, and that is Braveheart. I think Mel Gibson is batshit insane, but like Tom Cruise, I will watch him in almost any movie. And Braveheart is one of those movies that, with me and my brother, I can just remember us growing up and always watching Braveheart. And it's one of those movies that I absolutely love, even though it's one of the most historically inaccurate films ever. It's more about the legend of William Wallace than the actual reality of William Wallace. But that doesn't mean it's a bad film. Just enjoy it that way. But I had to pick up Braveheart. This one's kind of near and dear to my heart. But I have yet to watch it completely through because every time I sit down to watch it, something comes up and it's driving me insane, and I just need to sit down and just say, fuck you, world, I'm going to watch this the beginning to end. And that is Wish I Was Here, the second Zach Braff film. I gave money to this on Kickstarter, and he got beat up about it on Kickstarter, you know, for going there to get people to help fund his film. But you know, you got to do what you got to do, and sure, he could have funded it all of himself, but you know, me being a fan of Zach Braff from Scrubs and especially from Garden State, I felt totally fine, you know, giving him, I think I gave like $40 or something, and then I bought the Blu-ray as well. From what I've seen, which is about maybe a third of the way through the film, I really enjoy his sort of idiosyncrasies in the films. And whereas Garden State, from my point of view, Garden State is pretty much perfect. This one does get a little bit too... I'm not sure what the word I'm looking for is, but it gets a little bit too precious or something. I don't know. Like, Garden State walked that fine line of being kind of quirky, but also being very touching. And while I haven't finished the film quite yet, it does feel a little bit too quirky for its own good, I guess. But we'll see when I finally do actually get to sit down and finish the film. And then finally in the movie department, I picked this up because I've been wanting to see this so bad, and it's so hard for me to get out to the movie theaters. And I really wish I would have saw this in the movie theaters in IMAX, because this was a flat-out phenomenal film, and that's Interstellar. Christopher Nolan is one of the best directors working today, and I absolutely adore every frame of this film. It takes me back to watching really, really amazing sci-fi and how it fills you with this sense of wonder and adventure, and it's something that's been kind of missing from science fiction films for a while, because I feel like I kind of got it with Prometheus when that came out, but I feel like nowadays science fiction is all about the whiz-bang. You know, even the new Star Treks, the new Star Wars that are going to be coming out, you know, Guardians of the Galaxy, it's just like, the only reason we do movies about outer space is to fill it with laser blasts and explosions. And it's very, you know, when a film like this comes along, or like Moon comes along, it's very refreshing to see a film take science fiction seriously. And this film, I mean, I even went out and bought the soundtrack on iTunes to this film, because I just love it so much. And I love the music and just the sights you see in this. Oh my God. I wish I would have saw the wormhole effect and the black hole on that IMAX screen. It's just, I probably would have gotten motion sickness, because I always get motion sick in IMAX films, but god damn, it would be worth it to see this in IMAX. If you haven't seen Interstellar, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. I love it. I already talked about picking up the Interstellar soundtrack on iTunes. I also picked up Jeremy Enig's OK Bear album, because I just never got around to buying that one. I'm a big fan of Jeremy Enigk from Sunny Day Real Estate and The Fire Theft, and he's getting ready to sort of crowdfund a new album, a new solo album. So I thought, well, okay, I need to get OK Bear and listen to it. And while I like OK Bear, it's not one of my favorite Jeremy Enigk albums, but it is still, if you like Jeremy Enigk and that kind of stuff, it is still really good. Did I pick up any other albums on iTunes? I picked up some jazz, some more jazz. But it's escaping me what I picked up. And then... oh, I can't remember their name, though. It doesn't matter. I picked up another sort of electronic group. The song that I listened to was called Realm Sweeper, but I can't remember the name of the group, and I'm using my phone to record, so I can't look it up, so it's okay. Just type in the name of the song, Realm Seeker, and you'll... is it... oh, it's like right on the tip of my tongue. Doesn't matter. We're moving on. The song is Realm Seeker, and then... or Realm Sweeper, and you will find the name of the artist. I can't remember, and my phone's right there, so... picked up a couple Brian Wilson albums because the new album, No Peer Pressure, came out. So I picked this up. I wanted to get it on vinyl, but the store didn't have vinyl, and I was just like, ah, screw it. I'll just get the CD. This one, I like it, but it's not his best work. I read the AllMusic review of the album. They gave it 3 stars and said it's just kind of a weird album. And I kind of agree there. Like, there's some really good moments in this, but on the whole, it doesn't feel as good as the Beach Boys' That's Why God Made the Radio. I don't know. I guess when Brian Wilson's been on such a, like, an artsy-fartsy kick here lately with, like, the 2004, the Smile Sessions, Lucky Old Son. Then he did the Gershwin album and things like that. To hear him kind of go back to more standard kind of poppy stuff is kind of a weird thing. Even when it's, I don't know, it just feels very middle of the road to me. I need to give it some more listens. But on the whole, I don't like this as much as I liked his other stuff. So it's a bit of a disappointment. But what I'm looking forward to listening to is Brian Wilson and Van Dyke Parks' Orange Crate Art. And these two together, of course, are the ones that made Smile, and also pieces of Lucky Old Son. Van Dyke didn't write all the lyrics to the album. He just wrote these like little interludes and stuff. But really looking forward to this because I'm sure it's going to be batshit insane because when those two get together, just crazy things happen. But we'll get to that eventually. I haven't listened to it yet because I've been listening to some other things. But looking forward to that. Found that for $3, so I couldn't pass it up. Then I picked up some books, and it's been a while since I've bought books at kind of a regular clip, but we went to Half Price Books and I found these, and these were kind of things I was looking for. The first one is, of course, a Robert A. Heinlein classic. It's going to be completely different than the movie, but that's okay. Starship Troopers. Picked that up. Looking forward to reading that. But I do know that it's kind of a completely different experience than the Verhoeven film. But, whatever. It's still going to be a fun read. An author that I'm trying to get more and more into is Albert Camus. So I picked up The Plague. This is supposed to be another good one. I really like The Stranger. So I'm really looking forward to reading this. And then finally, I picked up Lincoln by Gore Vidal. And I've always liked Gore Vidal from like a sort of a quotable, quippy perspective because he just kind of lets it fly. But I've never actually read one of his books. So I found this there and thought I'd give his actual writing a shot because I always liked it when he would, quip about politics and things like that. But I've never actually read one of his books, so I'm going to give Lincoln a shot. And then maybe move into some of his other books as well. But that's all the stuff I picked up, except for, of course, the things on iTunes that I can never remember, and that's part of the problem. It's part of the problem with digital purchases, is you just kind of forget what you got until you actually look at the list. For instance, another game that I got, I didn't actually pay anything for it, and I'm not going to pay anything for it, is Final Fantasy Record Keeper. And it's, it's a fun phone time waster, but it's not going to be something I pump endless hours into. It's kind of like Terra Battle, when I got Terra Battle, the new Mistwalker RPG on iPhones, and it was a fun distraction for a while. Then eventually I was just like, one day I was like, I don't really feel like logging in today, and then I just haven't logged into it for a couple months. And I think Record Breaker is going to be kind of the same thing, where I play for a while and be like, oh cool, look, there's Cloud as a 16-bit character, there's Squall as a 16-bit character, and then eventually the novelty will wear off and I'll just kind of forget about it, as kind of most mobile games go, unless it's like an actual like Final Fantasy V on mobile or something like that, or Dragon Quest on mobile. Then I actually remember to play it because it actually feels like a quote-unquote real game. But yeah, that's it. I can't think of anything else coming out this month that I'm going to pick up. But of course, if I do, I'll do that. New episode of the podcast is up. We had a fun time doing that. I'm going to try to get out another one by the end of the month, since I don't think we really did one in March. Life. It just happens. But yeah, we got that coming up. I can't think if we have any other events. If I ever get done with Dark Souls and start playing Diablo 3, I think that the plan is to stream it for some fun stuff. But anyway, that is it for this episode. I got nothing else. I'm going to go out there and continue my hypocrisy and try to finish up another boss in Dark Souls before the girlfriend gets home. So, anyway, that is it. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Take care. I'll see you next time.